an example from a soccer context, and within this example we're going to be focusing on multiple movements. For multiple movements, we're going to be mainly looking at adjust on offense. So I'll be looking at the player and if they have an intent to engage in play again after they pass the ball, either to be another option in play or to create a double action. So if I just rewind this scene, we're going to be focusing on one player here in the red circle, and I've got a red arrow as to where he runs to after he passes the ball. So straight after he passes the ball here, he then runs across to be in that gap where possibly he could receive the ball again. So to assess this player in their ability to engage in multiple movements, I have created this table of observational characteristics of players. As we want to observe, analyze, and assess learners, it's important for educators to create criteria for each level so that they can make decisions on a learner's needs and develop ideas for future lessons based on evidence. These are just some characteristics that I have created to assess a player against the 4 levels of highly developed, developing, and beginner. I have also numbered these 4 for highly developed all the way through to 1 for beginner, and this will help us with coding when we're observing players, which I'll be able to show you later on. So for this specific player that we just looked at, I have highlighted here that prior to passing, player has head up and is looking at posture and position of players from both teams, and immediately runs to another position to receive the ball after passing. Now, whilst just in this video evidence, I'm not able to hear or see any other additional verbal cues, or I can't make decisions on whether or not they're consistent, I have assessed them at being at a highly developed level. Now, my assessment might change over time, or if I was to look at this player throughout multiple videos, but it is a good starting point. In this next video, we're going to be observing another player. This player in the red passes the ball to a team member, and as you can see, just runs and watches the ball. He has no intent on engaging in any other movement after his pass, and as such, after his responsibility of passing the ball is done, it almost looks as if his role in that team is also done. So if we go back to my observable characteristics table, I have highlighted here that he is probably in between a beginner and a developing player, just based on this particular video, this short snippet. So he's got his head up to pass the ball, but possibly limited awareness of further potential players to be involved in. He watches the play unfold. He remains in the same spot after passing, no movement beyond own responsibilities. Momentum decreases after passing, body position, high body position, and may begin to walk. So if we just look at this play again, he has the ball, he lays it off, and that's his role done. He does not move into another area, or he does not move across to the wing for his teammate. Here I have a sample coding sheet that could be used to assess multiple movements of players. So you can list the players 1, 2, 3, provide their names there. And then from there, we're looking at what they do after each of their passes. So after pass 1, what do they do? After pass 2, what do they do? After pass 3, and so on. After each pass, it's just a simple number, 1, 2, 3, or 4. If they, for example, do they remain in the same spot? Then they'll probably be given a 1. Do they shift to an appropriate position? They could maybe get a 3 or 4, depending on their consistency with that. And then from there, you can code about 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of play, whatever the educator feels comfortable in. Educators will continue this over a couple of lessons, either through real-time observation or through video observation analysis.